Hey everyone, welcome back to Project ATM Star. This is episode 5, and today we've got a packed one. I'm going to be getting into Create, mob grinding utils, and even Flux networks. I'm also going to probably try and get into infinite lava generation. We'll see how far into Create we could get. But yeah, let's jump right into it. All right, so I believe from the last episode, this room might look slightly different. I moved all the storages down below into its own separate room. I will show that here in a second. And I'm also showcasing the templates that I was able to scavenge during my resource gathering. Which, funny enough, I found another ancient city. There's one right below our base, but there's also another one, I want to say more north. Somewhere in this direction, but it's super close. Stumbled across it when I was strip mining. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see, I connected the storage that I had, so now all our items are accessible up here. I still need to make the wireless crafting tablet, or this thing right here, the terminal. Where's the one that I want? Yes, the wireless crafting terminal. Uh, Once we get that, then we'll be able to get into this screen pretty much anywhere we want, as long as I have the range set up for it. Because we're going to need the wireless receiver and the... Where is it at? The one I'm looking for is going to be the dimension... This guy. The dimension card. However, it's kind of expensive. It requires 4 nether stars. So hopefully we could get that in the next episode or so. We'll see how far we could get um, gear wise, because I want to get something going to where I could slap around these vanilla Minecraft bosses easily. Um, but if we just want to kind of focus on overworld range, we could just get into this regular infinity range booster. Uh, this one's not too bad. Just requires some Enderium gears, the regular 3 of the regular wireless boosters, aluminum gear, and some netherite ingot, which is something that we'll still have to work on obtaining. I only have one so far, I think. Let me see here. Netherite. Oh, make that 3, because I have 2 in the system, and then I think I have 1 in one of my backpacks. Yep, there it is. I was actually going to upgrade my fortune pickaxe to netherite so I could mine the allthemodium ore that I found in the ancient city that's below us. Um, so I'll do that a bit later. For right now, I want to get started on some create. So let's take a look and see what I am looking to do. I know I want to get a couple of redstone links so I can set up the blaze spawner and make a little mob farm. So we're going to need andesite casings, which is just andesite right clicked on a stripped log. So that's super easy. And then we're going to need this transmitter, which is just a lightning rod, 3 copper plates, and redstone. So I figured we could start off with 2. We'll just have 1 spawner going for now. That should be perfectly fine. And then once we get that created, then we could look into creating the mob masher and some entity conveyors. The only problem with that is I don't have chorus fruit. So I may actually have to look into doing the mob fans instead to help push the blazes down and towards the mob masher. So let me take a look and see what we need for that. So we definitely need one of those. And we'll probably need some of these. I'm not going to make it a very big farm, so I may be able to get away with just like one, maybe two mob fan upgrades. So let's see, because I know these require feathers, and I think we're kind of limited on feathers right now. Yeah, we only got 6, so we definitely got to get more of those. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make some andesite alloy here. Super easy recipe. I think I'm gonna make 16 for now. And then let's get some logs here. Let's see, do I have any in the system? I do actually. Nice. Um, I don't need much. I just need 2. Okay. So we'll go ahead and slap this down. Do that. I forgot the alloy. So grab these. See, super easy to do. We'll go ahead and mine those up real quick. And then also what else I want to make is the wrench. So we need gold plates, cogwheel, and a stick. So I'm going to make the engineering hammer. That will help us with the plates. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get 1, 2, 3 of these. Do I get anything for that? No. Okay. The cogwheel is super easy. Just requires a shaft, and we get 8 of those. I'm going to get 16 in total. Okay. And then it's just a plank with the shaft to get the cogwheel. I'm putting them in my inventory before I put them into the storage, just in case there's quests that will be completed alongside that. So let's go ahead and grab that. So now that we got the wrench, quest completed, let's go ahead and make the lightning rod. Actually, we need 2 of these. How many copper plates are we going to need for this? 3, so we need 6 of them. 6. Okay. And then that just requires 1 piece of redstone, so we could actually make 2 of these. Perfect. And then that will let us make 4 in total. Perfect. Okay. I only need 2 completely. So now that we got that done, we can get rid of that. Let's see. I want to keep some of these up. We could get rid of the hammer. Okay, perfect. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the slime gateway. Let's see, do I have enough for that? I think. Okay, water bottles are easy to get. I have brown. I'm not sure if I have red mushroom. I do not, so I have to go get red mushroom. Um, I'm not sure if I know where any is at right off the bat. But that should be fine. It should be easy to find anyway. Actually, let's take a mushroom. Let's see. Cutting board. Interesting. Okay. So I will take a look at that and see if we can find some somewhere close by. So then that we can make the gateway pearl. The reason why I need the gateway pearl is the absorption hopper. No, not the absorption hopper. The entity conveyor. It requires some slime balls, which we only have 6 of. So it's 2 each. So that would only get us 3 conveyors. No, actually, I just realized you get 6 per craft. So that would be 18. Is that enough? I'm not making a big farm or a big room for the spawner. It's going to be quite small. I think I think that will be fine. So I'll go ahead and get that done. We'll keep that there. The absorption hopper is super easy. It's just a hopper, uh, some obsidian, and an eyes of ender. So go ahead and get that real quick. Let's see what else. What else do we need? Oh, you know what? I do still need some more slime. Some slime balls. Because if I make a 5x5, that's 25, and that's 18, so I'd need 7 more. Okay. So yeah, I may still try and do the gateway pearl. But if I find some slime on the way or anything like that, um, I may not have to do it until I actually really need a lot of it. Which hopefully by that point I would have something already set up either with mystical agriculture or something else. So let's see. Let's go ahead and grab our blaze spawner. Should have one somewhere. I'm hoping I still have it. Cardboard. Do I not have a blaze spawner? Hold on. Huh. I swore I picked one up. Let's check again. Spawner. Zombie, zombie, zombie. More zombie. Pillager, spider, skeleton. Magma cube, zombie, zombie, zombie. Okay. Cardboard. Where are my cardboard boxes? That's the next question. It seems like I am missing some items. Let's go take a look at our storage. This is my little storage room. I have a storage bus on the storage controller, so it sees all these drawers. Then I have a storage bus behind each barrel, and then on one of the sides of the double chest here. And I'm hoping that's not the reason why I am not seeing my blaze spawner. Magma cube, pillager. Spider. Hmm. Is there anything in this backpack? No. Pillager. Oh. Well, alrighty then. Interesting. Okay, looks like I'll need to go make some... Oop. I'll need to go make some sawdust so that I could get some more cardboard boxes and go back to the nether and get a blaze spawner. That's extremely weird. Okay. So let me go ahead and get that taken care of, and I will bring you right back, and so we could get the ball rolling on this. Okay, I am back, and I was able to find a blaze spawner. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to slap a redstone comparator on it, which will turn it off, and it will require a redstone signal to activate it. So let's go ahead and take care of that, because I don't want to slap this down and then be bombarded with blazes. Okay, there we go. As you can see, it is now off. Let's take a look. Yep, you can see there at the top, it says redstone control. There's also no more flames surrounding it, and the mob little character in there is just stuck there. So let's go ahead and we'll use our silk touch to grab this. Let's head back down, and let's go ahead and place this. Okay. So hopefully this will work. I haven't done this with a spawner actually in the stone like this. I'm just kind of curious on if this is going to work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right above it. Okay. Go ahead and right above it. And slap one of these down. Grab a cobblestone, because that's what I'm using right now to set as a filter. If I could, there we go. So that one was in the red, so this one will be for turning on the spawner, and then this one will be to turn on and off the mob masher, because right now in our state, if we go to touch that, we die. Quite quickly, actually. So let's go ahead and slap this with the wrench. You can see now it's in receive mode. It has the little dish around the antenna. And if we go ahead and put a lever right above it, you could see over here on the left side of the screen that it turns on. So that works. Right, let's also now see about trying to see what would be the best way to get the rest of these. I'll still need to probably use a mob fan just to kind of keep them from flying away. So I have it pushing down, which will keep them on the entity conveyors, which then they'll get pushed into the mob masher. Let's go ahead and grab one more piece of stone, if I can find it here quickly. I can't wait to get the wireless terminal, because doing this and having the other terminal up there on top, it is kind of a little bit annoying. Oh wait. Ah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and slap that in there, and then let's go ahead and go back to the top. Turn my jetpack off. Which, by the way, I was able to actually get my jetpack upgraded all the way to Emerald. I was able to find enough diamonds to do that, to get past the diamond jetpack, and I used these guys up here to get the rest of my emeralds so that I could go ahead and craft that up. So it wasn't too bad. It did, however, still take me forever to find the diamonds. Very scarce in this seed for some reason. So hopefully we could get that under control. I still have the 4 diamonds needed for mystical agriculture. That will get us to the point where we could get more diamonds quicker and be able to make more seeds and just, kind of build off of that. Okay, so we got that done. We'll need to make one of these, which will need some slabs. Super easy to make. grab a singular fan. With it being up top, we're probably going to need, we'll make one of each and just see where we're at with that. And then if we have to, we'll go and make some friends with some chickens and get some more feathers. Okay. So I think we only need one of these. We'll need to get 2 more slime balls, and then we'll have the rest of the floor done. We'll need 1 block of redstone. Oh yeah, my quick trip to the nether, I found ancient debris sitting in one of the chests, which was pretty nice, actually. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this one going. So we'll need 6 swords to make 2 of these iron spikes, because if you look here on the mod masher, it's 2 iron spikes, and then we'll need 2 more iron swords, so that's going to be 8 in total. So let's go ahead and make those real quick. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's slap those in our storage. And we could go ahead and make 2 of these. And make 1 of those. Okay, perfect. Actually, no, we do not need the block of redstone because we're going to be using the redstone link. I completely forgot about that. So actually, let's go ahead and get that started over here, because we'll need to dig down just a little bit just so we could get underneath the mod masher. Okay, so let's go ahead and break that. Slap that on there. This one's going to be for blue, and I left cobblestone. So let's grab one of these. And I said blue. Yep, blue. And then we'll smack it with our wrench, make it receive, and then we will close this up. Now, same thing again. Let me get a lever real quick. Now, if we put the lever here, you can see, turns it on, turns it off, turns the spawner on, turns it off. So that works good. So let's go ahead and let's go back up and wrong way. Let's craft one of these and one of these. What are we missing? Oh, that's weird. Okay. And let's see where this puts our mob fan at. Show area. So it's a 3x3. So we'll need at least 1 more. So let me go find some chickens. So I could get some more feathers. And then I'll finish crafting up the rest of the upgrades for the mob fan. And I'll finish up the mob farm, or the spawner room, for the blaze. And I'll bring you back. Okay, and I am back. So what I did was I went out and I grabbed some more feathers. Then I came back and I crafted what we needed to craft, which, matter of fact, what I ended up crafting was 2 width, 2 height, and then 1 distance, just to kind of get more pressure out of that. Not sure if that was needed, but I did it anyways. Then I connected it to the same redstone link that is connected to the spawner. So if you see here, I click this, you can see the fan turning. Now all we need is just 2 more slime balls so that we can finish off the rest of this room, then we could close it up. So what I'm going to do now is kind of switch gears a little bit, because Trying to keep this jetpack, wrong side, um, trying to keep it charged with FE while I'm out and about is something that I want to get into now. So let me see if I have enough blaze rods, because that will ultimately determine if we have enough to do this. Not even just blaze rods, but blaze powder as well. That will help. So let me see here. Can these get broken down into anything? Okay, so 2 of those makes blaze rods. How many do I have? I have 4, so that's 8. 8 more there. Okay, so that's not too bad. We might have enough to get this thing started. Let's see if we can find any more. Um, there's some powder. I'm not seeing any more. Let's finish off looking through the barrels here. Okay, so I think this is all the stuff that we have. So let's take a look and see how many we actually need. So we have the flux core, which is going to be 1. So that's 1 blaze powder and 1 ender pearl. So we just need 1 for that. And then how about blocks? And then we need 4 for the blocks, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So that's 21. Let's see here. We need 4 plus another 4, so that's 8. That's for the plug. And then, so that was 8, 21, so that's 29, 30, is that 33? But we don't really need the flux point either. We just need the flux plug for now. The point we could do later. We're not in desperate need for the points just yet. I just want to get wireless charging enabled. So we need, how much was that? That was 20, so that's 21, and then 8, so that's 29. Let's see. I don't think we're gonna have enough. 25. Okay. So let's see if we could turn this on real quick. I don't. It's concrete and stone. I should be okay. Let's turn this on. Could even turn this on to kind of help us out. But what I want to do is I want to come over here. So when it spawns, hopefully, if it spawns, okay, let me turn this off. I don't want to die by my own tools. Let me see if I could. I don't think this is gonna really matter. I think it's just kind of waiting to see when they'll actually spawn. I figured out the problem actually quite quickly. So it was probably a little too small because it was basically 3 high, and I don't think that was enough room. But also, having it in the wall was for some reason stopping it from spawning, because I think you need to have the sides open. So when I moved it and placed it here, it seemed to work pretty good. So let me go ahead and get this back on here. Let me see where we're at. Okay, so we need to go this way. And then we need to go back down. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn this on, and let's wait for the next spawn. This isn't a loaded, force loaded chunk, so it should be working in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to getting the flux dust needed for the flux network. So I'm going to grab a bunch of redstone. A bit more. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of this stuff in here just like that. All right, let's go find us our bedrock, which I think, yep, right here. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and turn my magnet off. Oh, I forgot one thing. Obsidian. We definitely need some obsidian. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start tossing out my redstone here. You do a better job at that. Because I want to try and get as much as I can. Perfect. And punch. Let's see. How much do we get? Not too bad. Let's see if we can get some more though. I want to get the rest of this redstone converted over. Okay. And punch. Perfect. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back home. And throw this into our system. So what we can do is get our ender pearls. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we need a bunch of these. Okay, there's a stack. So we need at least 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So let's grab our controller. Let's see if we can make one more block. Perfect. Okay. And I think we have enough for the point as well. Okay, let me take a look here. Because there is a small quest line for this. Okay, so you need 4 and a block to continue. Perfect. And a block. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. It's fine. I'll explain it as we go. And then also, do I have enough to do this? That's 6 blocks. Ooh. How many do I have left? So I have 9 eyes left. Let's see. Cores. 23, 27 cores. I already have 1 block, so I need 5 more. That might be cutting it kind of close, but let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We have it. So we just need glass panes. 1 here and there. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. Let's go slap this down in our little room where our power's at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the flux controller down and then the flux storage on top. And then I'm going to grab my plug and I'm going to put it right here. And then output. Okay, now what I'm going to do, this is the UI for the flux controller. So we're going to go ahead and come right here to the plus sign where it says create new network. And then we're going to leave that. That's fine. You could pick a color of how you want it to display. I'm going to do green. Let's do green. Okay. And then we're going to select it here in the network selection. And then we are going to do bypass limit. I always do the bypass limit on all of it. And then we're going to come here to the wireless charging. And we're going to select the ones that we could select, which is your hotbar, your offhand, your main hand, and your curio and armor slots. They have the main inventory disabled, so no wireless charging for that. But that's perfectly fine because the ones that we're mainly worried about is the armor slot, curio slot, and the hotbar slots. So that's perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and select that. Bypass limit. And we have to replace this. Turn my magnet back on. Okay, it's now connected to the cube. We enabled the network and bypass limit. So the wind generators that we have up there, the 7 wind generators, is generating 1400 FE per tick, which is actually pretty good. And you can see here the power is now being stored, which is really good. And if we find our jetpack, wherever, oh yeah, jetpack is in here, which is fully charged. That's perfectly fine. We throw that back into our little bobble slot here, or our curio slot, if you want to call it that. I like to say bobble slot because it's more interesting that way. So it looks like that is working. Perfect. Now there's ways to speed these up with apothic spawners. Ooh. Why are you all the way over here? Done. Need to and then I need to go east. Where? Okay, you need to go away. Yeah, that's loud. Okay, there it is. Okay, so no, it's in a perfect spot actually, so we could go ahead and hide that. So we'll go ahead and let this run. So like what I was saying before I got distracted there, you could speed these up, and you could make it to where it spawns even more out of that spawner. So instead of like 1 or 2 here and there, you could have it spawn anywhere up to, I believe, it's either 16 or 30. Let me take a look here. Okay, so minimum spawn delay, so you could choose about how quick the delay is for the spawning in between each round. And then max entities. So yeah, so max of 16. So when you max this out, there's a potential that it could spawn 16 entities in one spawning round. And then the clock is the maximum spawn delay. Basically how long it could take for the mobs to spawn. And using the clocks to put on it, you could bring that down as all the way down to 20. Which is so the speed is expressed in ticks, where 20 ticks equals 1 second. So if you bring it down to 20, every second there's a potential chance to spawn. So if you have these both at 20, That's basically saying every second you're going to have mobs spawning. That's how powerful these are. And then if you use echo shards, that's a form of looting. So you could increase how much loot each mob that gets killed drops. You could have the mob set on fire. You could reduce the health of the mobs that get spawned down to 20%. The spawn count, again, you can increase this to 16. The coarse fruit makes it no AI, so basically it won't attack you. It won't really do anything. It's just kind of like an empty shell. Um, youthful's good for like villagers if you want to get baby villagers for. This used to be a good path for the Morgan sword. However, they kind of massively nerfed that in this pack, so I'm gonna kind of stay away from that. Spawn range. Normally, what I do is I'll bring this down. I'll use the quartz in my offhand, and I will click a couple of pistons onto the spawner itself. What this will do is it will bring down the range of how far away the mobs could spawn from the spawner. So I believe if you bring it down to 1, basically that means 1 block it could spawn away from the spawner. And then the Nether Star and the Conduit are for conditions. So the Nether Star is to ignore players. The Conduit is to ignore all conditions. Um, light level, if you need to be close by, um, anything of that nature. And then, of course, the Soul Lantern makes it to where you don't need, it will ignore the light level, so you can have it out in the open and it will still spawn. So that's pretty much a quick overview of how the Apothic spawns are really OP, especially when you get them all fully maxed out. So we're doing pretty good here. We already got 3, but I don't think we're going to need very much more, seeing that we were able to get everything here that we needed. I'm going to leave the flux point up here just because we're going to need a lot of them. We're absolutely going to need a lot of them. So we're not having these piping all over the place. We could just have these little, this one's a plug, but for like the flex point, we'll have these pretty much where we need the energy. So that's good to go. And then if you look at the left side of the screen where the little UI is for the jetpack, you could see that it's not draining the power down. It's staying consistent here at the 12.4 million FE mark, which is good. That's what we need, especially when we do our long travels in the nether, or we go around and we try and search for different villages or structures that we are looking for. So I'll go ahead and keep that running. So we got wireless power. We have the blaze spawner started. Something else on fire. What is that noise? I don't know if you saw in the last episode. I talked about how I was fighting this corner, which it seemed to stop once I capped the this entire area off, but this corner would catch on fire and burn down, and I think I replaced it like 5 or 6 different times in the last episode, and I just kind of got fed up with it and I just blocked off that entire thing. I didn't think the lava was going to still kind of slip through the trapdoor, but it's fine. Got that resolved. So let's go ahead and now focus our energy towards more create. Because what I'm going to be wanting to get into is called the hose pulley. this guy right here. So we need to go and get kelp, um, copper casing, and a copper plate. The copper plate's not too bad. We could get that right now. Let me mark this so we have it. We also need a crank for when we get the hose pulley. Let me go ahead and get this copper casing. So let's go log. It's the same thing that you do with a with a with the andesite casing. You just throw down a log, strip it, um, grab some copper. If I could spell today, and then you just right click on it, and that will give you the copper casing. Super easy. So we have that. That's going to be a quest complete. So I think all we need now is some kelp, which I don't think I have any kelp. Nope. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to sleep real quick, and we're going to go grab some kelp real quick and bring it back. Whoa. What is that? Another what is going on with the structure generation and the world generation? I don't think I've ever seen this many floating islands. Let's take a look real quick at what's up here. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but this is interesting, and I kind of want to see what's up here. A lot of wool, that's for sure. Oh, this looks wild. What is this? Okay, so there's redstone and what looks to be either droppers or dispensers. There's a couple of chests here. I'm gonna some of these. Oh, it's caught on fire. Interesting. What are these? Oh, wither skeleton spawners? Yes. Oh, shoot. Oh, there's something in there that I like. And I think I could grab it. Alright, let's pick the redstone. Ooh, okay. Wow. Go ahead and take that. That was quite interesting. That was very interesting. Okay, so these slime. Jesus. I bet you anything it was that giant pile of TNT that was off to the side. I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna take all this TNT because this will come in handy later. I won't have to worry about crafting it. Yes, please. All right. So let's take a look. There's more spawners. Bog. More bog. Bog. Oh, there's a trial spawner there. Okay, this is quite interesting. I will have to come back and visit this. Ooh, another Ars tower. I know. I'm sorry I'm getting so distracted. I'm still really... Yes. This is what I was looking for. Let's go ahead and drop down here. This is the tower I was talking about in my earlier episode where you have a chance to find a hidden room inside the tower that has stuff. So we have a whole outfit here that I'm going to steal. And we are going to use that later on. Because I kind of want to get into more magic. I don't do a lot of magic. And I kind of want to get into it. And I really like ours. So I think I'm going to progress in that. Okay, we'll go ahead and grab that. Grab the source jar. Then we got the scribes table. We got the alteration table. This as well. We will grab these because that Mage Bloom seed will be very helpful later on. We'll grab that with an empty hand because that gets connected to that. Oh, there's more codexes here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and learn these real quick. So we got Toss, Pantomime, Ignite, and Fuse. Still not what I'm looking for, but that's alright. I'll get it eventually. Let's make sure there's nothing else here. Okay. Basket weave. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's take the containment jar too, because we could use that later. And I think that's everything. Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. I am happy I found that. That is awesome. Ah, here we go. Yep, kelp. This is what I was looking for. Let's grab a good amount so we don't have to come back later. So we'll need these for the kelp blocks that we need. This guy right here, the dried kelp blocks. But we could also use the dried kelp to make other things within Create, like the brass funnel. What? Oh. Okay. Your range is too much, good sir. What are you? I mean, I know it's a shark, but my lord. Oh, these jellyfishes right here. If you want quick, like slime balls or slime ball substitutes, just kill those guys and you could get some. They drop, I think you smelt them? Yeah, you smelt their dead bodies in the furnace and they'll give you slime balls. So yeah, you could use the dried kelp to make like the brass funnels, tunnels, and also hyper tubes, and then belts, the mechanical belts that will help you automate some stuff, sending items around. Let's see here. So we got the kelp. Let me take a look. So light tower and big building. And birch. Okay, let's go home. So we're gonna have to smelt some of this in more glass. Nice. Forgot about that. So let's go ahead and throw some kelp in here. Should be good for now. Nope, hate that. Oh, that is loud. I'm gonna put an anchor here. Let's see, so Come on. Oh. Okay, so blaze, blaze, blaze. And then turn these up just a little bit just so I could hear them. Just in case. Same with this one. Sure I have them all. And then this one. Okay, there we go. How are we doing? We're doing okay. For as slow as that spawner is, we're doing actually really good. So let's go ahead and make this block. So then we can make the hose pulley. So we got the crank. Now the last thing that we need to do is make the ender tank. This will allow us to transport fluids between dimensions. I don't know if it works with the fluid drawer. What is it called? The ender drawer. I don't use a linking tool. You can link two ender drawers to sync up their contents. This works just like an ender chest, but as a drawer. Does this also include fluid? See that? I can make that right now. I'm kind of curious. Let me check it out. Let me check it out because I'm kind of curious on how this works. If we could do fluid in this, that would be awesome. If not, then no worries at all. So let's... Okay. So chest. Planks. Good enough. Oh, I misread that. They said it's treated wood. Okay, hold on. Let's get some wood here. There we go. Okay. What can I put in you? Can I put fluids in you? No. Not in the sense of what I want it to do. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. No worries. We'll find some use for that. What I have no idea. So let's go back to our initial plan and do the ender tank. Because this I at least know works. We'll need two of these. We need our blaze rods. Let me go to our farm. Grab them. Okay, turn off hover when you're using elevators. Okay. We're short one. Anything do I got? No. Oh, perfect. That came in clutch right there. All right. So now what we can do is we'll move this guy to over here. We could slap our tank up there. grab our fluid pipe and have it set up just like that. And then let's go make sure I have everything. So we have the hose pulley, the hand crank, and the ender tank. We also have the fluid pipe, which we need upgrades for the fluid pipes, which if we take a look here, so that, I'm going to see if we could do that. If we could get up to diamond, that would be perfect. So the basic pipe upgrade, that's going to be iron, ingots, nuggets, and redstone dust. I'm just going to make one of these for now. And then the improved pipe upgrade, that's going to be gold, redstone, and then the previous tier pipe upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and then for the advanced, that's going to require blocks and diamonds and the previous upgrade as well. And it looks like we can do it. So I think for starting off until we get a steady stream of netherite, this will be perfectly fine. So let's go into the nether and let's set up our infinite lava generation. If I could get into the portal. Alright, so we need to find a giant pool of lava that works. Okay. So what we can do is we could probably set it up right here. So I could go put it there. We'll break the block underneath. We'll grab our hand crank. Actually, let me do this first. So with the advanced pipe upgrade, it could transfer 2,000 millibuckets every tick, which is really nice. The base speed on this is 50 millibuckets, so we're going from 50 millibuckets to 2,000. That's a massive upgrade. So let's go ahead and slap the crank on here, and then what we're going to do is drop the hose down into the lava until we get the achievement, which I'm hoping this spot is enough source block to get us that achievement. We just keep going. There we go. Tapping the mantle. We now have... Oh, really? You're really gonna do that? Destroy my pipe? My whole setup? You can die for that. Alright, let's go back and fix this. Luckily it didn't destroy the pipe, it just broke it. And luckily nothing fell into the lava either. Also, what we're going to need to do is make sure we force load this chunk, which I believe it's this one, but I like to do the force surrounding anyway. Alright. Let me go ahead and do that. Perfect. So now if we go back home and sleep real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another upgrade, one of these copper upgrades, so that you can see the lava coming in. You can see, if you're looking at the ender tank, you can see up there in the top middle, it says lava 16 buckets. So that's there. And matter of fact, I should make another upgrade as well while we're at it for this pipe, just so that either side matches. Because if we have one that's you know, doing 2,000 millibuckets, and then you got the other one that's only doing 50 millibuckets. Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. So let me go ahead and slap one of these in here. Perfect. Okay. So copper upgrade this guy. So we need 2 chests. 1, 2. We'll get a hold on. Third. Oh, I did the wrong click. Let me grab some more planks here. And just do a full stack. Copper upgrade. One of those. Turn that. Copper upgrade. Alright. So when I slap this in, you'll see that this will jump. I think this will jump to 16,000 buckets. 8,000 buckets. Sorry, I was wrong. But you can see how quickly, even if I remove this, these dripping upgrades, you can see how quickly this is moving up. And this will continue. So I'm going to go ahead and slap these back in to kind of help with that. And then once we get the netherite pipe upgrade, that would be all we need to do. Because if we, since we're doing AE2, if we do infinite cells, yeah, there's a lava one. However, it's extremely expensive. It requires vibranium, aluminium alloy, unobtainium vibranium alloy, and then the obtainium aluminium alloy, which that alone is already expensive. But then you need a 256M mega storage component, and the block of blazing crystal is not too bad. So these 4 items right here is what really makes it expensive, because you need the accumulation processor, then you need to do the step down of all the storage components all the way until we get to the 1K. So that is an expensive recipe, and I don't see us doing that anytime soon, to be frank on that. So I think what I'm going to do to finish off this episode is upgrade our pickaxe to netherite, and then we will go ahead and get the aluminium ore in the ancient city in the next episode, because I think what we did today was very substantial. We got infinite lava going. We have a basic blaze farm here, which I'm going to probably expand into other mobs as well. And then we have wireless network and also a better way of getting energy around to other machines without having to have, you know, cable spaghetti throughout the base. Because I'm looking forward to getting rid of all this and just going wireless all over the place. So let's go back to the top, and let's go ahead and call it here for today's episode. I still find this hilarious that when I have this helmet on, all you see is mustache, and that's it. So let me go ahead and take this guy off. There we go. Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and you know, if you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe and like, drop down a comment as well, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.